Good evening, students. Welcome back to our lesson number 9, that's environmental management. Last lecture, we have studied what is the difference between climate, what's the difference between weather, why is meteorology important, and what are other factors related to climate and weather. We also went through different importance of weather, understanding how weather was bringing change in our lifestyle, our occupation, our way of living, how geological parameters, various climatic factors were getting affected, how microbes are also part of weather, and how they are also an important part or an important factor in determining the weather. Thus, we concluded with the last line that therefore study of meteorology is very, very important. Now, in today's chapter or in today's lecture, we are going to understand what is exactly meteorology. Now, it's something new for all of you. You might be studying this for the very, very first time. And kindly understand, you all have to write few pointers today. No more diagrams, but yes, few pointers. And when I'm asking you all to write, you all have to write and just not take a screenshot. So let's begin. Okay, let's understand what is meteorology. Can anybody guess what is meteorology? You all can write down your answers on the chat box. Okay, it's the study of weather and study of environment, branch of science, correct? Weather broadcasting, correct. Climate study, correct. Understanding atmospheric pressure, right. Study of meteors, not directly, indirectly, yes. Temperature, geological movements, exactly. So whatever points I am receiving on the chat box, let's quickly compile them. Now it's very, very simple when it comes to biology. When you need to define any biological science, you will always start with it's the branch of science or it's the branch of biology which deals with. This makes our half statement. And then we can proceed with whatever things are included in that particular subject or in that particular science. Understanding what is meteorology. I want everybody to give this heading as meteorology. First, we'll understand and learn its definition, and then we are going to write it down. Ready? So, meteorology, it's the science that studies the interrelationships between various components of air, natural cycles, geological movements of the earth, and climate. This entire thing together is called as meteorology. Done? Now, I want you all to quickly jot this down. Yes, this is the same chapter of climate and weather. Now let's understand what is exactly meteorology further. Now we have just understood that as a science in which there are studies mentioned of all atmospheric parameters, environment related movements, geological movements, cycles of the earth, everything. Now we will understand what else is there in meteorology. Okay. So in meteorology, unlike chemistry or biology or physics, we have various laboratories in our school. Similarly, when it comes to meteorology, we don't have laboratories. We have observatories. Okay, what is observatories? Now, these are the rooms which have very big instruments, advanced computers. There are some great software which interprets our satellite data. And after receiving all this data, observations are done and various predictions are done. Therefore, their research labs are called as observatories and not laboratories. And these laboratories are equipped with most modern instruments and technological advancement. Understanding further, how is meteorological prediction made? Okay, let's understand. Let's say you are able to have a look at the globe. I hope you know what is globe. Yeah, it's a 3D model of Earth. Have you ever seen it? Okay. Now let's say you are one of the scientists working in meteorological department and you are getting images of Earth from a specific site or from a specific angle. Let's say you're getting images of Asia region of Earth. I hope you know. Okay. Now you will see backdated images of Asia of yesterday, day before yesterday, and you'll compare all the data. Now tell me, will all these images look same? Even if the images are of the same time? No, correct? There is going to be difference. But tell me, by just looking at the images, can you predict at least few things? Maybe how much amounts of clouds are there, or where is the winds approaching towards which directions? Can you tell that, okay, there's going to be rainfall in specific areas? Yes, probably a little bit. Yes, all the messages are receiving. So tell me, if you have backdated predictions made or backdated data is available, will it help you to predict what can be happen, what could happen today or maybe tomorrow? Yes. Now, can it be only done by observing, or there'll be a lot of statistics involved? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of statistics involved. You just can't predict by looking at images. Correct? But one thing is for clear. If you need to predict something which is going to happen in future, you need to understand what happened today and what happened yesterday. So, if the present climatic conditions are analyzed, here comes your third point. If the present climatic conditions are analyzed with reference to the past climatic conditions, we can predict climatic changes of the future. Now let's understand the fourth points. That means most countries in the world have established meteorological departments for making and recording such observations. I hope you all must have written the first point, that was the definition of meteorology, which was this. Correct? Then here comes your second point. You all can now write it down. You can start with the second point. Do let me know once you all are done. Then I can move on to the next slide for point number 3 and 4. Okay, moving ahead to the next slide, which has point number 3 and 4, which we have just discussed. Which means if the present climatic conditions are analyzes to study them properly and observe them nicely, what could happen? Then with reference to past and present, we can predict future predictions. Now, these are no astro predictions, please. These are geographical, pure geological predictions. In the next slide, I'll be showing you how does observatories look like. You all have to be fast in writing. Come on, 9th standard kids. Cool. Moving on to the next slide. Here you go. Before that, this is a very important fill in the blank or a very important MCQ. Please note that 23rd of March is observed as World Meteorological Day. Very, very important. I cannot quickly take you all to backslides again and again because of slow writing speed of other students. Kindly cope up. I hope you've even jotted down this line. Moving on to the next slide. Now here, let's understand that what does exactly we get to know by the predictions made by meteorological department. What are the things which we understand? Let's just have a look at the major predictions made by meteorological departments. Number one, giving us information about storms, understanding what is the density of clouds. Now, why are clouds important? Can anybody tell me? Why is prediction of clouds required? Is it for only rains? Okay, tell me one thing, which industry has to do a lot with cloud and visibility? Which industry has to do a lot of study about clouds? Correct, correct. I'm getting very good answers. Yes, aeronautical and aviation industry. I hope you know them. If the flights are about to take off, they need to always keep a check or an eye on how is the weather status, how much is the density of cloud, what is the visibility up there. Even for agriculture, no doubt, based on it to understand how much is going to be the rainfall so that it can help the crop or it can destroy the crop completely. Let's move on to the third important prediction, that is about rainfall. Extremely important for Indians. Why? Because monsoon is one of the major season or climate which we receive. Next, thundering. I'm pretty sure we all are able to hear it even right now outside. Water vapor. Now, why is water vapor required? Again, amount of water vapor will help us to understand humidity in a specific area. Pressure. This pressure means atmospheric pressure. and temperature. Correct. One of the very correct answer which I have received is water vapors will be required to study to understand cloud formation. Correct. And last is lightning. Why? Why is lightning important? In order to inform the departments or the people or the citizens who are working in area which is extremely prone to lightning. It could happen, right? We get news or we observe many news that people lose their life because of lightning strikes. So in order to prevent loss of life, even predictions of lightnings are made. Thunder is usually the sound which you get, and lightning is the light which passes through it. Atmospheric pressure is the pressure exerted on Earth by the atmosphere which it is covered with. Okay. Now please keep all these things in your mind because they are given in a question and answer, and all the things which you are able to see in orange color box are your points of answer of a 2-mark answer. That what predictions are exactly made by meteorological department. These are the common ones. You don't have to write all of them. I'm pretty sure at least you'll be able to remember all of these. Yeah, moving on to the next slide. Now in this, now as we saw various factors, depending on all these factors, weather forecasts are made. So weather forecast cannot have only rainfall. It cannot have only humidity or visibility. After only studying all of these parameters, one particular forecast is made, right? And they are extremely useful to common people like farmers, fishermen, people belonging to aviation services, water transport. Now you will also understand that why is even forecast important for naval people. Why? Because they will be traveling through ocean or sea route, and for them understanding or knowing oceanic currents and the current weather is extremely important. Yes, it's also thundering outside. Now here comes an image of observatories. Hope you all are ready for it. So each one person, or I can say each one scientist, will have various images. They will minutely or carefully always look into details which are happening. For us, we are just able to think that it's just the same picture which is repeated, but no, it's images of every minutes of every seconds are being studied. All right. And now, is only observations paid? No. For predictions, we also have various models. And how are these models studied? Now here comes another photo in which you'll be only given a screen. You don't have to study about it, but just understand it's an image of a model which is given to you. I'm pretty sure everything will be bouncer. Okay, I'm moving on to the next slide. Okay, now let's understand which are the major organizations which take a bigger part into all such predictions and meteorological works. Now, these are the 3 names which you are not supposed to forget. And in case if any question is asked, that which are the departments who do the work of forecasting or predicting. These should be your answers. Number one on the list should be World Meteorological Organization, which is WMO. Second one is Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, that is IITM. The third one is National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, that's NOAA. Okay, now understand WMO is very important. Why? Because that was the very first meteorological organization which was founded or which was started on Earth, and it was established in United States on 23rd of March 1950. Therefore, World Meteorological Day is also celebrated on the same day. That's 23rd of March 1950. What is the work of NOAA? They will be studying, analyzing, and giving information to the government, stating about various oceanic currents, tide timings, rainfall, precipitation. They will be dealing with more ocean and atmosphere, because there are institutes like Indian Meteorological Department which will take care of all predictions and factors happening on the land. So NOAA will be more dealing with oceans and atmosphere. Lovely background to the lecture. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, where we will understand more about Indian Meteorological Department. If you all can one, you can quickly jot them point. Quickly write them down, just 3 lines. Now answering few doubts which are there on the chat box, that is NOAA restricted till India or is it also for other countries? So please understand, NOAA is actually an American scientific agency which is present within the United States Department, but it also collaborates with India, and it also collaborates with India to predict all information regarding Indian Ocean and the atmospheric pressure around it. Okay, let's quickly move on to the next slide. I'm pretty sure everybody have must written it down. Okay, moving on to the next slide, that's Indian Meteorological Department. Now we will see what is exactly IMD. IMD is Indian Meteorological Department. Looks like, what's the logo, how did it started, what is its history, what does the work people working in it do, everything. All right, Yes, yes. All messages given by all students are receiving at this end. So right now in front of you, you are able to see the logo of Indian Meteorological Department. It's also known as Bharat Mausam Vigyan Vibhag. Students, kindly note if you have any doubts, please do write them on the chat box. IMD also works for WMO, but just for a country on smaller scale. So what does IMD do? We'll be just looking into it right now. Okay. First of all, let's go to the official website of IMD. That's Indian Meteorological Department. And the screen will look like this. You all are supposed to message me at the host account. Okay. Now in front of your screen, you'll be able to see the current weather map will be given. Wherever winds are there, wherever clouds are there, where is it sunny. On the right hand side, you'll be able to see which way is the direction of the flow of winds. At the center, you have details about what is the sunrise timing, what is sunset timing based on Indian standard timing, what's the moonrise timing, and also what is moonset timing. It will also give you percentage of how much amount of rainfall is expected, everything. Okay, now let's move on to few details of IMD. Now believe me, all the points which we are going to cover right now is a part of your brief answer. Okay, so starting with Indian Meteorological Department, understand understand that Indian Meteorological Department was founded by Britishers in the year 1875. And when it was founded at Shimla. Okay. And post Shimla, now it is not at Shimla, and the headquarters are actually shifted. Now, the place where the headquarters are shifted is called as, lovely, what a background. Now, after Shimla, the headquarters are situated at Pune office. Yes. So the head office of IMD is situated at Pune. And after head office, that's after the main headquarters, comes the regional offices or the regional headquarters. Now there are in all 5 regional offices of IMD. Let's understand the 5 regional offices. They are located at Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Nagpur, and Delhi. Okay, I'm repeating, regional offices are located at Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Nagpur, and Delhi. Fine. Now we will quickly have a look at the pictures of how the transition of IMD took place. I hope the images of buildings will be visible to you. You can get the same images on the official website of IMD. From a British era till today, IMD works hard looking, predicting, and providing us with information regarding rainfall, regarding winds, regarding various oceanic currents, and many things. Okay. Now you all can write this, the first 3 points. Now I wanted to answer one of the doubt which is mentioned in the chat box. So a student has asked me what is the meaning of radar. Now I hope you must have seen movie called as Uri, right? The time when they are about to take their helicopter and cross LOC, you'll be able to see a black color screen with green color circular rounds, or I can say concentric circles. Yes, so radar is basically a detection system, and this detection system works or uses radio waves to understand the angle, velocity of coming and going objects. And it will keep beeping like an ECG machine, which is used in hospitals. So radar is usually used to detect various ships, aircraft, missiles, motor vehicles, and also to patrol boundary of a specific country. Okay, now if you're done with the writing, let's continue with the next points. What work is exactly done in IMD? That what works takes place in IMD? We'll understand it one by one. Number one, maps are prepared every day, which indicate the daily predictions about weather. What did I say? Just like this image which we have seen. So this is a specific map. Current weather is a specific map. Maps are published twice every day. That is within 24 hours. These maps are published. Okay. And how does the information reach us? Is that after these maps have been published daily twice, a lot of research goes on continuously, and through various aspects of instruments like climatic reading, predictions about climate made by using radar system, predictions about climate related to seismology. Can anybody tell me what is seismology? Yes, correct. Seismology is the study of seismic waves which are or which result into earthquake. Correct. So predictions about climate related to seismology is also made. Predictions related to rainfall by satellites, air pollution, oil spills, all these things are what are added up, compiled, and maps have been released. So there are a lot of things which IMD needs to take care of. Lot of things. Now let's understand, is IMD important to other industries and departments? What do you think? Is the work of IMD important to other departments? Yes,
Definitely. Definitely. And if the answer is yes, let's understand which are these industries first. So IMD provides important information regarding weather and climatic conditions to other departments like. So let's start with the departments one by one. Number one will be aviation. Number two is shipping. Number three, agriculture. Number four is irrigation. Number five is marine oil exploration and production. Yes, fisheries, agriculture, all these other departments are also dependent on the predictions which are made by IMD. Now, these are only major ones and therefore etc. has been added. Right? You all can one, you can quickly jot them down. Just 2 lines. What is marine oil exploration? Now, do you know that there are oils which are extracted from seabeds, crude oils? Now, in order to extract such kind of oils, people will have to ideally work where? In the oceans. And if people will have to work in oceans, don't you think in order to take care of their safety, we need to understand what is the weather and condition at that place? Yes, you can start writing these points. What do you mean by aviation? Aviation is the industry which deals with all instruments or aircraft. It could be aeroplane, helicopter, rockets, missiles, everything. In air, it's aviation. That's the name of department or industry. Correct. Aerospace, aeronautical, they are also part of it. Now, if you, after you're done with writing of this slide, I'll quickly toggle on to the previous slide because there are many students who are requesting for the last slide. Full form of IMD is Indian Meteorological Department. That's the very silly question. Okay, quickly moving on to the last slide for the few students who want to copy them down. What work is done in IMD? Okay, I am moving on to the next slides. Is it done? Okay. Now, after having a look at which industries are dependent on the predictions made by IMD, let's have a look at the departments as well. All right. So this is something that is related to predictions made by IMD. That's Indian Meteorological Department. IMD provides important predictions regarding calamities like dust storms, sandstorms, heavy rainfall, hot and cold waves, tsunami, etc. We all know this, right? Now, after all these predictions are made, what is done? All the predictions regarding such natural calamities are communicated to various departments. How? With the help of mass communication media. What is mass communication media? Do you remember when we started with the chapter, we spoke about, do you know about Akashvani or Doordarshan? Yes, these are media. That means with the help of newspaper, that's print media, audio video media, that's your television. Only audio media is your radio. And through all this means of mass communication, it is known to all citizens living in the country. Okay, now let's understand. The statement which I was able to see on your screen right now is an important give reason in your textbook, which states that climate changes are complex, interdependent, and rapid. Making forecast is very difficult, right? So tell me, is predicting climate an important thing? Yes, it is. But is it easy? No, absolutely not. Why? Because there are many factors which needs to be taken into consideration, like clouds, visibility, temperature, pressure, water vapor, humidity, rainfall. And after understanding all these factors, one prediction is made, correct? Which is not an easy task. These predictions are made by various meteorological departments, right? Therefore, your answer will be climatic changes are complex, interdependent. That one factor is dependent on another factor. And rapid. Why rapid? Because it keeps on changing. And making forecast becomes difficult. Yes, somebody wants me to come back to the last slide. Here is the last slide. Yes, IMD is one of the department which needs to work 24/7. People over there work in shift basis because you cannot keep the office off for even a minute. It needs to be on and working continuously. Done. I am moving on to the next slides. It completely depends whether you want to copy this down or you don't want to. Okay, so here is a quick question. Okay, it's just for us to understand a specific concept. Let's estimate the total amount of rainfall in Mumbai for yesterday. Think that we all are scientists. Then how are we going to do? Can we tell, okay, Mumbai received 3 centimeter of rainfall based on whatever rainfall happened in CST area or Ghatkopar area for that matter or Mulund area? No, we cannot. We cannot just consider one area and predict the amount of rainfall of the complete region. Correct? So how are these questions solved? I hope you are able to see a box. Assume this box to be your Mumbai. Yeah, that's the area covered by Mumbai. Right? And we all know that Mumbai is broadly divided into 3 parts, which is its Harbour Line, Central Line, and Western Line, characterized by the railways. Correct? Please understand, you do not have to write anything right now, whatever I'm explaining. Now tell me, all these different routes are having n number of stations, right? Every station will have its east and west side. Correct? So let all these lines be different stations. And as I said, every station will have its respective east and west sides. So many areas, right? Now, if I have to calculate total amount of rainfall, don't you think I should be considering all the stations, both east and west side, all the stations, both east and west side, and I should be adding up the total amount of rainfall. And finally, I should be taking an average. Yes. Will this help me to get a common answer of total amount of rainfall which happened yesterday in Mumbai? Correct? So understand all the predictions has to be done on such mathematical calculations. It cannot be predicted just by considering one small area. All right, is it understood? Okay, so next time when we are meeting, we will find or we will dive in more into the concepts of how predictions are made or how monsoon predictions are made in India. We will understand this into the next part, that's history of IMD and monsoon model, but in the next lecture, not right now. Okay, I hope whatever things are taught are clear for the day. In case if you have any doubts, please put it on the chat box. No, it's not the problem of the mic which is moving. It's the network issue which I'm facing because of the current weather outside. Okay, I am not receiving any doubts as of now. So I'm ending your lecture. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. We'll see you on the next lecture. Bye.